Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So we're going to be doing a reading right now. Today is the solar eclipse day. Ooh, 44% at 7:44. This is definitely a reading to help you, I hear, come to terms with what this eclipse is going to be bringing you. I don't know like what it is. I tend to kind of figure out the message with you. I don't know what it is before you. I figure it out with you, and that's okay. It's okay for us to figure things out together. All right. So let me just pull some cards. I'm going to surprise myself and not look at the cards. We're going to see them together for the first time. I don't know. Whew. Okay, let me just go ahead and shuffle. I'm in some sort of like, I don't know. Ooh, 45% at 7:45. What? Mirroring. This mirroring leads to completion. So I'm feeling some sort of like intense something or other in the chest space. Ooh, it's intense. It's intensifying. I'm wondering if it has to do with the solar eclipse that's preparing to happen, or if it has to do with like, I don't know. I'm just going to pull out 3 cards to not look at them like I told you guys. I'm going to allow myself to experience this right along with you guys. I'm going to be just as surprised as you. I'm a little bit nervous. Not going to lie. I'm a little bit nervous because I don't know. Okay, all of these fell out, so I'll pull those too. Here we go, guys. It's almost like it's telling me this is going to be a really intense, very personal thing that it's talking about. Maybe, you know, maybe you're kind of at a crossroads. Eclipse of the heart. I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know. Okay, so we'll pull these because they slid off the top. Okay. Almost done. We'll use those 2 decks for clarifiers afterwards. Let's pull first. These are going to be the last 2 that I pull from. 1, 2, 3. And then, of course, this deck right here. I'm not even going to look because I don't want to upset myself unnecessarily. I'm just going to go ahead and shuffle. I'm nervous. I don't know. I'm so nervous. They're just cards. Calm down. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. I don't know why I feel so nervous. Okay. Fucking A. Oh. We're not doing that today. We're not. Okay. I just sprayed the shit out of myself like a bad kitty about to do some bad shit. I sprayed myself. Oh my God. Okay. I can't continue with the reading. Okay. Card number 26, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. Just, like, live intentionally. Okay, live intentionally. Don't allow things to bully you out of your center. This is a message that we've been allowing ourselves to kind of be swayed this way and that, either through fear of something, or like avoidance, or okay, we have to just be really intentional in what we choose to do at this point. Really, really intentional. I don't know what this deck is. I want to say Sacred Rebels. I don't know. I don't have the box with me, so I don't know. Just breathe. Just breathe. I'm gonna just fucking have some CBD really quick. Card number 13, Power of Attraction. So you're bringing to you the very events that you need in order to grow yourself, okay? If you want to grow yourself, you will. If you don't want to grow yourself, you won't. And the decision not to grow yourself will cause so much cognitive dissonance within you. It will cause you to avoid every circumstance, every connection, every potentiality that will take you to the next level of being. You are attracting to you the very things that you need for your growth. Now, this card also comes with a secondary message. Y'all know what it is. If you've been with me for any length of time, when this card has popped up, you know what it means. We're just going to move forward from that. So card number 37, focus on the light. You have to focus on where you're heading within yourself, of course, not an actual destination, but you have to focus on what direction you're heading towards. What is your goal? In this period, we have to decide what our goal is. You know, you have to kind of prioritize certain lessons, certain areas of growth. Those are going to be your priorities, whatever you select. And as you select it, you begin to open yourself up to the different potentialities of how that selection, that lesson is going to unfold. You have some say in how it will unfold, but you can't fully control it. You can't fully control it. You have to just kind of allow things to unfold as they are and make your decisions as you see the details presented. As you see the different options being presented to you, that's when you begin to decide for yourself, okay, am I going to choose A? Am I going to choose B? Where does path A lead me? Where does path B lead me? Am I deciding this from a place of a desire to grow? Or am I deciding this as a form of avoidance because of fear, because of ego? What is it? It's going to be different for each of us. So, all right. Let's see. So card number 18, let chance play its creative role in your life. This has to do with the message that I just gave, where it's like you can't fully control how all of this will play out. You have to kind of just allow things to happen, allow things to present to you, and then decide when it's presented. When your soul brings you whatever it is it's going to bring you, decide then, okay? It's... Oh my God, I'm feeling an intensity. Daddy, I might need you to hold my hand while I do this reading. I don't know why I waved. Card number 34, compassion for others. Don't allow your compassion for others to blind you from your own path and your own needs. It's so important for Pisceans to always be aware of what your actual needs are. We get so caught up in helping others, in like trying to solve other people's problems, trying to alleviate their pain. We get so caught up in things that are outside of us that we always forget what our needs are. We tend to be the one that ends up suffering the most quietly at that. So now it's time for you to really see, do certain individuals really need your attention? Do they really need your help? Do they really need your acknowledgement? I think for some, they really do. I'm sorry, guys. This is important. fucking fabulous news. I can't tell you though. Card number 32, tangibility. Make your dreams real. This is about you releasing whatever fear you have of calling to you the very things that you need to fulfill these certain levels of growth that you're needing to accomplish at this point. You need to become fully present in whatever it is you're doing, okay? Whatever lessons you're needing to learn them. Be fully present in it. Allow yourself to just like be fearless in your approach. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry I had to put you on hold. That was a really important call. Card number 1, the fledgling. It's okay for you to feel as though this is something really new. This is something that you've never experienced before. You're very tentative, very hesitant. It's okay to be skittish. You've never experienced this level of growth before, okay? If you have already gone through a massive dark night of the soul, if you've already gone through that first major ascension cycle, this is going to put all of that to shame. This is a very, very intense period. For Pisceans, solar eclipses, actually any type of eclipse, it tends to be a very, very intense period of growth. It tends to initiate cycles that can sometimes be like something that makes you feel so consumed by something outside of you. So be easy with yourself. If you're struggling with it, take a moment, pause, and remind yourself it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. This is temporary. The only thing guaranteed in life is change. We're going to be okay, because you are going to be okay. I mean, you've gotten through everything else in life. Pisceans have a tendency, we tend to get ourselves in all sorts of bullshit. Most of it's not even really ours, but we have a tendency to get ourselves into it anyways. Why is that? Again, because our compassion for others tends to blind us to the fact that we should not be involved in that. We should not take over that situation to try and save someone from their own process. Now, if you can recognize the ways in which you have been shoehorning yourself into circumstance that's not your own, then you can begin to release that. You can begin to recenter yourself within your own existence and allow yourself to grow. When we hold on to old circumstance so tightly, because, you know, I don't know why we do this. Pisceans tend to have a death grip on situations that hurt us so badly. Even though that circumstance is done, even though the individual is no longer there, whatever it is, we have a tendency, if it's hurt us that deeply, because we tend to have different levels of hurt that we allow people to reach or inflict upon us. When they get past a certain level of hurt, it's usually a really deep one. We tend to not let that go. We tend to continue to play that over and over and over within our heads, which wouldn't be so bad if we were learning each time it loops around and plays again. But instead of learning and allowing us to really like get a grasp on what it was we went through, why it hurt so much, what we were supposed to learn from that, instead we just focus on like, oh my God, I cannot believe I was so dumb and I let you in. I let you do this to me. This is all I deserve. And, you know, all of these like really toxic types of thoughts, we allow ourselves to continue to perpetuate that recording. We have to stop that. We have to. If you're going to let something cycle back around and around in your head, replaying it over and over and over, learn. Every single time it circles back around, learn something. Notice another nuanced detail in that. If you're talking about conversations that you once had, how were they saying it? You already know what they said. Do you know the words that were used? What was the look in their eyes? What was the feeling behind the eyes? What was their mouth doing when they were talking? How about their forehead? Was their forehead wrinkled in like not quite knowing how to deliver a message? What was their intent? How did their heart feel? How did their energy feel to you? As you're replaying this, think about it over and over and over. And I promise you, if you allow yourself to do this, you will reach higher levels of understanding of yourself and your life. You can't just keep watching the same thing over and over and not learning anything from it. So there's a message every single time that circles back around. There's a message that's playing for you. You have to seek out what that message is. You don't have to seek out the individual. You have to seek out the message. What is your soul trying to teach you through this? Why are you refusing to learn it? These are some very intense questions that only you have the answers to. Fragment. Card number 15, fragment. You've allowed yourself to become fragmented. Every time you give away a piece of yourself with this refusal to accept what the person is offering you, whatever lessons, and usually it's painful, you fragment yourself more and more and more until finally you're left with just one little smidge of who you once were, and you don't know where all the pieces went. And sometimes as Pisceans, we have a tendency to fixate on one person because we assume they took all of us. I don't know about that. I think we give ourselves away to so many people without even realizing it. And it's really not fair to just blame one person, to have this assumption that they took all of you. People can't really take you, not to that degree. You have to let them. Pisceans, we have to recognize when we have given ourselves away, when we have continuously chosen to make ourselves second when it comes to fulfilling needs. We have a tendency to do that. We can't blame that on someone else. If we choose to do that, because I love him. Well, if you love him, you'd love yourself. It's just bottom line. Because if you don't love yourself in that, whatever it is you're doing in that circumstance, in that connection, in that relationship, because I love him, is it love or is it dependency? Is it a codependency? Because if you love someone, that love, if it's a real love, it empowers the both of you, not just one of you, the both of you. And if both of you aren't being empowered, if only one person is giving, that's not love. That's a codependency. That's probably a trauma bond. And that's something that's hurting you to your core. But I love him. I don't understand why he won't do for me what I do for him, because he's not you. He's just not. No one is you. Only you are you. And we can't love on people expecting them to reciprocate exactly the way we show love. That's not how it works. People have different ways of showing that they love. And sometimes we have to recognize that there are those that we fall in love with who have no idea how to express love. And it's something they have to choose to work through. We can choose to be present, but we have no say in that. Just because we recognize things within them does not mean they do. It means because you know, because you see, now you have a tough decision to make. Will you be patient and stick around and wait and watch and support as they figure themselves out? Or is this too much for you in your heart? Because if it's too much for you, it's time to walk away. It's time to make that decision and walk away. I don't know what the answer is for you. This is something you're going to have to decide for yourself. You're going to have to really, really analyze, why am I here? Does it empower me to be a part of this person's process? If we're going to have this conversation, there is no, but I don't want to abandon him. I'm sorry. Who did you think you were? Do you think you are their personal messiah? Because you can't save them from their own life, their own decisions. You can either choose to be present or you can choose not to be. But outside of that, you don't really get a say in how they're going to grow. What you do get a say in is how you are going to grow. Are you going to grow through staying there, observing, watching, being present, allowing yourself to hurt so deeply, knowing you can't do anything for them aside from being present? How does that work? It works by you deciding what you actually want. What do you want out of this? Do you want to feel like you saved them? Because if that's the case, I'm wondering if maybe you're staying because they are reflecting back to you some of your own pain, some of your own wounds, and maybe you're there because when you needed someone there, no one was there, and now you want to be there for someone else. Maybe this is a call from your higher self, from your soul, to recognize this is a reflection of your internal circumstance. It's an outward projection of your internal circumstance, and what you really need is not to be there for them, but to be there for yourself. This is a period of really intense growth. And again, you have the right and the ability to choose for yourself how you're going to experience this period. If you are going to project the need for healing onto other people, the likelihood of you actually healing portions of yourself is minimized. It's minimized. But if you can recognize your environment, the people within your environment have a very high tendency to be reflections of something within you. Circumstance, pain, all of this stuff that's already within you, they have a tendency to be reflections of that. And if you can recognize and identify what parts of you need the kind of love you're trying to give someone else, that's a very empowering thing for everyone involved. 70% at 807, 70807, 7 being the number of divine completion, 0 being the point of origination, 8 being the number of reunification of all your fragments, which takes you back to your point of origination, which then leads to your completion. The lesson is complete. There's a need to recognize you need to come back home to yourself. There's also a need for you to recognize your personal need to have all your parts return back home to you so you can feel whole in your place of origination, which then completes this process. 70807. That's powerful. That's powerful. So we go back to this card, and now we're starting to recognize this is more than a twin flame, twin ray card. This is an expression of your truth. Whoever this is to you, whoever this is for you, they are projections of an internal circumstance. They probably just happen to be the most potent form of mirror you could possibly find in this life. The key to that is grown up child. Just because you see the individual still as a child does not mean they are. I'm saying this as a parent as well. I'm afraid of the day when my children are fully grown and I see things that I don't agree with. And what I'm afraid of is not being able to save them from their circumstance. I'm afraid of interfering with their process and robbing them of the potentiality that they will tap into by going through that hardship. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that this fear that I have about interfering with their journey will be felt by my children. And because they feel it, they will close me off. They won't share with me what they're struggling through because I make them feel ashamed. I make them feel embarrassed. I make them feel like I'm going to condemn them, even silently. I never want my children to feel condemned by me. So if it's your grown-up child, love them always as that child, but allow them to live as a grown-up. Allow them to make their mistakes. Allow them to fall flat on their ass so they can understand they have the power to lift themselves back up. I will always be your mom. If you need a safe space to exist in for a little bit because life has become so difficult, come home to me. If you need me to just sit quietly on the sidelines and watch you live your life, make your mistakes, and pick yourself back up, I will be that quiet cheerleader for you. If you want my opinion, ask me and I'll give it. If you don't want my opinion, I won't. And that's just something that's really hard. As a parent, at some point, you have to see them as an autonomous adult, or they will continue to exist as a fragmented child. Your children will only live up to what your expectation is. And if you expect them to consistently fail, that's what they will do. Subconsciously, they will fulfill that expectation. So when my children make mistakes, well, I mean, what do you think you need to do? Well, mom, I need to blah, 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 blah. Well, then do it. You're not mad? Well, I mean, you got to be an adult sometime. Would I have done things different? Probably, but you're not me. You're not me, and that's okay. You're not supposed to be me. Now, if you want my opinion, let me know. I'll give it to you. But that's just my opinion. It's not to make or break you. You are your own adult now. Those are the types of conversations we need to have with our grown children. So card number 12, creative power. Release your alchemical energy into the world. Allow yourself to let go of the very things you keep hiding away, because those things you're hiding away tend to be where your true power is hidden. It just tends to be. When you allow yourself to birth the truth of who you actually are. Yes, it's a messy process. Yes, it's full of pain. Yes, sometimes that birthing process will drive people away. But the people who are driven away tend to be the people who didn't hold the same resonance as us anyways. So wish them farewell, wish them the best, but also let them go. Card number 18, radical honesty. To believe in the facade is to suffocate in the armor of alienation, self-defeat, and self-denial. When you believe that people fall away from you because you weren't enough, because I don't know, then that tends to become your truth. Now, I know that there will sometimes be things that cause misunderstandings and cause us to separate from others who maybe they still need to be a part of our path. Just trust in your soul's ability to provide you the very circumstance that will grow you in the most compassionate way possible. And just because it's a compassionate way does not mean it doesn't hurt. So what am I trying to get at? If someone's walked away, if there's become a separation between a friend, between you and a lover, between whoever, if there's a separation that still continues to hurt you, if that connectivity is not yet finished, whatever you were supposed to learn together is not yet complete, it will circle back around. But you have to be okay with it being finished. You have to be okay with that. Because if not, you're going to spend the rest of your life longing for something that maybe was never meant to come back anyways. So instead of longing for that, really analyze what happened during that period of connection, the conversations, the things that were left unsaid, the nuance of the energy, what was really going on behind the words. What did they not have the courage to share with you, to tell you, to verbalize? Because I'm wondering if the things that weren't said are the things that would probably help you to heal the most. That maybe their decisions weren't based on their perception of your lacking worth. Maybe their decisions were more based on their perception that they weren't good enough for you. That maybe you would realize, you're not good enough for me. You shouldn't be around me. And so they decided to leave instead. We don't know. We really don't know. And you're going to have to be okay with stopping this cycle of making stories up in your head because you didn't get the closure, the words from the person directly. Maybe just leave it as is. Radical honesty. It is what it is. We don't speak. We're not friends. It is what it is. I don't know why it is that way, but it is. And I'm going to have to move forward from that. I'm going to have to allow myself to give myself permission to be okay with not having the last of the words, have the questions that I had for you be answered by you. I might never find the answers. And maybe the answer is in me moving forward without you, without that closure. Maybe it's time for us to recognize we are the door. We are the hinges. We are the door latch. We are the door jamb. We are the knob. We are the key. We are the lock. We're all of that. If you want closure, just close it off. Just close it. It doesn't take anyone else to close it. It's just you. And maybe we need to recognize that sometimes when we still need that conversation of closure, that's because we don't want to let go. Sometimes, and this is what I'm kind of being led to feel, sometimes when we still need to know why, it's to figure out a way to convince you why not. Like, why did you leave me? Tell me so I can convince you why you should not leave me. Well, how about I just move forward? How about I just move forward with this knowing that the resonance was no longer there and my soul needed to create space for my own growth? Because maybe parts of you and your journey were crowding the space that I needed for my own. Maybe I was becoming too involved in you and your path that I was neglecting my own growth. Maybe this is a way for my soul to protect me from my own self-sabotage, because maybe your presence meant that I was going to give myself completely to you, failing to realize I still needed autonomy. There's a whole bunch of things that go on within a Piscean's mind. And we have to recognize oftentimes when people are taken away from us, it's for our own good. It's for our own health and safety. It is for our own sake of growing that they are taken away. It's hard. It's hard for a Piscean because when we love so deeply and allow someone in, and if you're cross-watching for Pisces, Pisces don't let too many people into their depths. They really, really don't. That's a very rare thing. They will make you feel like they've let you in, but have they really? Probably not. Probably not. You'll know when a Piscean has let you in because it is so hard for them to let go. And it's not like a vocalized thing. Like every time you see them, every time you run into them, they will continue to have that silent breaking sadness behind the eyes. And that's how you know you've let them in. And that's how you know you've fractured them. And because of that fracturing, they probably will never trust you again. They probably will never let you back in. Because Pisceans will protect themselves. And if you hurt them, they let you in that deep and you hurt them. That type of fracturing is devastating to a Piscean. And although we may be cordial, we may make you feel like we're letting you back in. There's a chance. I'll be honest with you. We'll probably never trust you again. We'll probably forever be waiting for the other shoe to drop, for you to repeat that again. And that sucks. So if you love a Piscean, don't do that. Don't do that, because we don't have it within us to recover from that type of hurt. Whatever that hurt is, whether it's just a friendship, whether it's something romantic, whether it's something like a soul connection, that's even worse. If it's a soul connection, if they felt there was a connection between your souls, oh. Card number 17, misalignment. Miracles become normal once we face all of the aspects of our life in the same direction. There was a misalignment that occurred. And unless you're traveling towards the same direction, you're probably never going to connect again. Card number 36, confusion. Growth hurts, heals, and harnesses a way through the uncertainty. You're being grown right now. Pisceans, when someone hurts you to that degree and you feel so destroyed and distraught, find it within yourself to recognize they did their part. What type of love has to exist on a soul level for a soul to volunteer to grow you in the most painful way possible? And to know that from that point on, once that lesson is initiated, you will walk away and you will never come back. And that they will always vilify you. They will always feel some sort of hatred or disdain or pain when they think of you. And you can never be a part of their life again. What kind of love on a soul level needs to exist to volunteer for that type of project? I'd say a very deep level. I'd say that we need to kind of take a step back and see this from a soul perspective. You agreed to this type of painful connection that would eventually lead to our disconnection. to grow me in a way no other could. And I won't ever let you back in. I won't ever forget. I probably won't ever move forward from that moment where you destroyed parts of me with your words, with your behaviors, with your lack of speaking. But on some level, I know within the soul, there's so much love that exists between us that I don't have to feel as though you were intentionally malicious. Whether you were or weren't, that's irrelevant. On a soul level, I can help myself heal from this, knowing that there was so much love in there that you agreed to help me grow through some of the most difficult lessons that no one else could help me grow through. So just let them be that for you. Let them be this reminder that your soul loves you. Your soul wants you to grow and grow. When those messages circle back around, allow yourself to just see it from a soul perspective. Remove that like need to understand on a human level. When you try and work on understanding from a soul level, the human level of understanding naturally follows it. Okay, so I got to get going. I do private readings. If you'd like a reading on your marriage, you can definitely book a session with me. My website is emmieevolving.com. You guys, if you could give this video a thumbs up, please, I would really, really appreciate that. If you could also head on over to TikTok. I'm over there doing readings for all the other signs. I'll be live again later on today to do readings for, I don't know, whatever my soul tells me to read for. Thank you, Pisces. I love you guys so much. Don't allow yourself to just remain in the hurt. Use that hurt to catapult yourself to a higher and deeper level of understanding of yourself, your soul, your journey, and your needs. You are growing through all of it. Whether you already recognize it or whether you're still at a place where you feel like you're just cycling through things, same thing over and over and over again, you're growing. Give yourself more credit. Give yourself more love. You're capable of loving yourself in the ways you want other people to love you. And maybe that's the main thing in the solar eclipse energy, this recognition that I'm capable of loving myself in the ways I want other people to love me. I don't really need other people to love me in that way. I need to do it for myself. So do it. Do the damn thing. I love you guys. I'll see you again in a little bit. Bye.